Buddy, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and this is part 2 of our disc-bound journal that we're making. And I just wanted to uh, talk about the two journals again really quickly. We have the one that I'm using mixed media pages, and I'm using these for mixed media, but you could do this with a regular junk journal. You definitely do not have to use it for mixed media. These pages could just as easily be pages that you have, um, cut out and put in a journal. So, for instance, you could just take regular journal paper and cut it down to the size that you want and put it in there, and it would work exactly the same. Just use less, less discs if it's smaller. Basically, that's kind of the same concept. You could use scrapbook paper. It will work the same way. It doesn't really matter. Here's some of the pages that came with the planner. And so they just pop in there like that. And that's how that works. So basically, whatever page, any size you want them to be, it's just a matter of punching out the holes. And so you could use it for just a regular journal if you want to. I'm using them for mixed media simply because I think it's a great idea that you can take them in and out. But it's also a good idea if you're working on a journal and you're going to be doing a lot of that in your journal or adding a lot to your pages. It'd be great that you can take it in and out. Anyway, there's two systems here. There's the one where I used the punch that comes with the planner system, and that allowed me to do these pages. And I basically just took, let me take the one that I goofed up on, and I just took the little perforated edge off of here. Okay. And then I just punched it in the little punch that you get. I don't really know which one. Here we go. And then it just pops right in. So, and that works great because then you can take your pages out and work on them, etc. Okay. The cover I did, and I showed how I did it with the hole punch and cut it. So then I have my cover for that, and it works fine. This is the one where I just cut the slits in it, and that works fine too. But anyway, today what I'm going to do is I am going to try and do the covers, okay? Probably not front and back, but just start getting them ready and hopefully maybe get to the point where I do the covers, okay? I don't know if I'll be able to finish them all. And there's a reason why I'm doing two, but I'll tell you later. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off because I know I'm not going to probably have a chance to do both front and back. All right. Well, maybe I will do both. I might do both. If I'm going to make a mess, I might as well make a big mess. You see how easily these just pop right off? And this is the cover. And that's another cool thing is that you can work on your covers and make a big mess and then, let them dry and put them back on. So that's what's fun about it. And here's the one that, all we did is cut slits in it. I pulled too hard and some of the little thingies came out, so. All right, move those aside for now. Okay, so I am going to do this two different ways. And let's see. I got to make sure I get these right because, yeah, this one doesn't matter, but that one does. Okay, first off, what I'm going to do is I am going to gesso these. I'm going to go ahead and gesso these, and I'm going to gesso these in white. So I am just going to take, where'd my brush go? Here we go. I am just going to take my brush, and I think I'm going to put this under here so I don't have a big mess underneath it. And this is just so that I can add paint later to it. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do on the inside of it. I think I might do something completely different. So, I'm not going to gesso the inside. I think I may cover it with some paper. Okay, so I am going to go ahead. I'm going to leave this on the mat. I think I have another mat somewhere. Where did I put it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so now. Okay, what happened to my other. I've got a bunch of pile of stuff over here. Where did it go? Now I'm going to use some black gesso. Going to be two completely different looks on this, so that's kind of why I'm not 100% positive, what I'm going to do. It's got a skin on top of it. Let me get that off. Yeah, okay. And this is fairly thick. It's like really super thick gesso, so. Okay, so this is going to be the back. I'm going to just put both of them over here. So anyway, I'm going to be covering this with black gesso because I'm going to be doing something completely different on this one. Wash off my brush. Okay. Get this one too. I think they'll both fit on there. See if I can get these to sit for a few minutes. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and make sure those are dry, and then we will get to our next step. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and dry these, but I went ahead and did the back side of them too because I figured I might as well. What I'm going to do is completely different on both of them. I don't know if I'll get to the point where I can do both of them, but I'm going to try my best. First off, on this one, it's going to be more of a decoupage type thing. The other one's going to be completely different and kind of a, oh, I don't know how to explain it, but metallic type thing. So anyway, let's get started on this. So we have our one coat of gesso on there, and we're going to be adding a lot of things to this. So when we're done, it'll be all sealed and everything. But it, if you were just going to paint on this, I would seal it with something when you're done because it is porous. Okay, so let me get my paint out. All right, I am going to use for this just some Distress ink because I'm just trying to get some color behind this, okay? And that's the first thing I'm going to do because I want it to dry. And I have different colors here. Let me get that. Oh, where did that other thing go? Oh, find it now. All right, I don't know. I'm just going to use the back of this little laminated sheet here because I need something to put my paint on, because I don't want, I was going to put it on another one of these, but it doesn't really matter because this will do the same thing. I wanted you to be able to see it better. Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Okie dokie. Wonder if it has stuff on it already. I'll just use that. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of my paint down over here, and that is Salty Ocean. I gotta mix this up better. I can tell it hasn't been mixed really good. And let's see, maybe I'll use some broken china. This is broken china. Put that over there. I might as well put them back over here because I'll probably knock them down. And a little bit of faded jeans. And peacock feathers. I love peacock feathers. Anyway, there's my colors right there. And the reason I'm putting them down that way is that I have a lot more control. I really am having a hard time with the sprays because it'll just do that burst out there and it kind of bugs me sometimes. So anyway, let me see if I can find a different brush to use because that other one's kind of, oh, this one's stiff. I didn't realize it was that stiff, huh? Okay, let me get some water on it. That'll help. Okay, so all I'm really going to do is I am trying to just get some paint, some background paint on here. And I'm mixing it all up. I'm going to probably, you know, and I'm really just kind of making kind of a little scenery background. So I really am just not wanting the same color all the way across, but it is mixing, and I probably should let them dry a little bit. I'm going to try and put the darker color on the edges. Okay. And then put a little of this in the middle. And then maybe a little bit more of the peacock feathers. Okay, so I'm just really wanting just kind of a muted type coverage. I guess I'll do this down here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on and let it dry, and then probably after it dries I can kind of touch it up a little, because right now the colors are just mixing because they're not dry, which is fine. I don't really care, because you're not going to see most of this when I'm done. I'm just really wanting to put some color on there, and that's it, to make it look kind of muted together. There we go. And I'm going to be spraying this in a minute, so when it dries a little bit more. So okay, so I am going to dry that a little bit, and then I wonder if I should do the back of the other one too. Huh. Well, I tell you what, I think what I'm going to do is put this aside, and it'll dry very quickly. And I'm going to do the back of this one. Basically do the same thing. I might spray it. Let me just try and spray it and see what happens. And then just kind of mush it together. Let's see how that works. Yeah, that might actually work better. Gives it a more organic look, I think. I don't know if I put that in the other one. Just kind of doesn't mesh together as well, but that's okay. I kind of like it a little bit better. I may spray on the other one a little bit in a minute, but I want it to dry a little bit. And there's a little bit more white left in here, so I kind of like that. Okay, I think I like that look a little bit better, but I don't think it's going to end up mattering in a little bit anyway. So let me put that aside. Let it dry. That's the back. Of course, eventually I'm going to have to do the inside, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and spray a little bit on this just to kind of make it look a little bit more organic. Yeah. I don't know, I think, do we want that color on there? All right. And of course it's having it react to the color that's beneath it. So that's kind of cool. And what I am going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and here's my water bottle. And I'm just going to spray that to kind of give it a little bit of a push as far as it moving around. So I like that a little bit better. I think I want a little bit more. Well, I probably should wait till it's done. Let's see. This is tumbled glass. I want a little bit of a lighter color in there too, so yeah, that's better. All right, I'll probably put more of that in there, but I think I'm going to wait till it dries a little bit. I like that look better. So there we go. That is what we're using. And that has to dry before we do anything else to it. Let me do the other one like that too. And it will dry and look completely different when we're done, so. Okay, is this drying? Yeah, that's drying pretty good. So I want to add, let's see, we want to get it a little bit more of this. We're going to add a little bit more peacock feathers. And then, do I want to put broken china? And then we want to put a little bit of salty ocean. Okay, and then I think a little bit of water. And then I think the last thing we're going to do is add some tumbled, like, see, that's what I'm saying about the spray, is that you just don't know what you're going to get when you have a little bit less control. Okay, one more spray of water, I think. Okay, there we go. I'm going to let that kind of sit and let it dry. I got a spot right there for you. Okay, I hope that works. Put that brush in here. Put that over here. Boy, that stuff's really thick, so it's not wanting to dry. I am going to have to dry this and then probably get right back because let me see if I can. Okay, so what I have now is I have my 2 dried black pieces here, and what I'm going to be doing is this frame is going to go on here, but it's not going to stay white, and I'm going to be putting this gold paper behind it that's kind of reflective. So it is going to get to be black, so I'm going to go ahead and paint that. I should have done that when I did my gesso before. That would have been smart. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that because we have other things to do, and it will dry, hopefully, in that period of time. Get my other brush out. Anyway, it does have a little bit of a texture to it, but not, you know, a lot. So I'm going to be adding more to it, and I kind of want to make sure I get the insides. And this frame is a Tim Holtz frame that I bought a while back. It came in a package with several of them, and they were well worth it because I've used them on several different things. But I'm going to get the sides, even though I'm probably going to cover that up later, but I'm going ahead. And so whenever you get something, don't ever worry about the color that it is, because you can change it. And this is actually going to end up being a different color in the end, but it needs to be black first. Okay. Of course, I'm getting this all over my hands. Okay. That's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it to where it'll work for what we're going to use it for. All right, let me wipe off my hands because that black gets everywhere. See if my wipes are under there. Oh, they disappeared. I don't know where. Oh, here they are. Got so many things on my desk because I'm trying to do a lot in one video. So anyway, that is drying. Okay, so now we're going to work on this part. And this is our front cover, but I'm going to do the same thing to the front and the back. Eee. Where did my stencil go? I had it just a second ago. Okay, let's see. I'm missing my stencil. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I have a stencil that I'm going to use, and I'm going to take this stencil and I'm going to cover this whole, both of these with some, this is texture paste, and this is a Crackle. And there's different types of texture paste. I like the Crackle one. I was not real impressed with the fact that it pretty much dried up pretty quick, but I don't know. I've heard I'm supposed to cover it with plastic, so we shall see this time. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm taking this texture paste and I am just going to put it through my stencil. lift that up. Okay, and then we're just going to let that dry. And that, I have used this before, and I think it works better if it air dries. So, I'll block that part out, but it works better just because, I don't know, I think the Crackle does better. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Go up to the very top if I can. Now that I've done that, and I also have a tub of water here for my stencils because I have ruined my stencils so many times. Okay, so that has the texture drying. Let me see if my other ones have dried. So I've done all that I can do with that. Oh, I gotta find a spot for these two. I'm running out of spots. Okay. So now, this one, it's still a little damp, but I think we can work with it. This is the front cover, and I can take that off of there. We're not going to need that. I think that turned out perfect. I love it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this is, where did my things go? Our focal point for this is going to be a door that we make out of the tongue depressors and popsicle sticks, and going to go right in the middle. So let me see. Yeah, I think that'll be about right. Okay, so wonder if my other one dried too. Yeah, yes, it looks like it did. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is put that aside, and we will work on the door. 3, 4, I think we need 5. I think I decided 5 was good. Okay, and then 2 of these. And so what I'm going to do is I need to measure these because I want them all the same size. I know my big cutter would cut this. Maybe it would. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's try it. I don't know if it would cut this. We'll see. So let's just say we want it right at 5.5 inches for now. Huh, it did. It cut it. 5.5 inches. Okay. I mean, not that it's super easy, but it's working. Okay. These cut very easily with your scissors if you're worried about, you know, cutting them on your cutter. They're not that thick. All right. I need one more. Now I have to cut the other side, so let's just say I'm going to do it 5.25. Does that get the rounded part off? Yep, it does. 5.25. All right. Like I said, we probably will not get both of these done, but oh, how did that? Oh, I'm at 5.5. That's why. But I'll do what I can. I'll probably just keep recording and doing this, and then what'll happen is I'll just find a place to split it and then put it in another part. So it may be kind of a weird stopping point, you know, in the video, but all right, so these I I'm just going to cut that. Well, I can measure better with my scissors. With my, well, let's see. I won't know until I put these together. So these are going to go like that. And I don't want them perfect. I want it to look like an old door, so. Okay. So then these, I think I'll just mark it and then cut it. That'll be easiest. I don't know. I could do this thing. What do you guys think? Want to tell me? Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Okay. So I definitely have to cut the edges off of this. And see, they cut really easily with your... Okay. Now that I probably want to do at an angle, right? I'll have to figure that out later. Okay, so let's see. Let me get something to mark with. It's going to go right there. So we're going to cut that. And we're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. Okay. Let's do that. And I've got my hot glue gun ready to go, so. All right, let's see. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, let's see. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. Now this has to go at an angle, so if we put that in there, right? The only thing is, I've got this cool little doorknob thing. Let me see, where did I put it? Oh my gosh, where did it go? It probably got thrown around somewhere. Oh gosh, guys, I don't know what I did with it now. Ugh. I bet it got blown away or moved or something. A lot of times stuff gets stuck underneath my mount too. Okay, it'll still have room. I think it'll have room. Okay, so let me figure this out. This has to go like that. So I need to cut this. Let's see. So it needs to go from here to here. Like that. I believe. We'll find out. Let me see if that'll work. If you get the right angle. And then this one, correct me if I'm wrong. No, this needs to go that way. Okay. Hope I'm doing this right. All right, let's see. Yep, I think so. Okay. And I do have a little doorknob to put on there, so I got to figure out what I did with it. I don't know where it went. I hope I didn't lose it. I have all the other pieces over here. I just don't have that piece. I wonder if did I put it in there? I don't know, guys. It'll show up eventually. I got that piece. I got the door knocker part. That's not going to go on till later anyway, but okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on to get them all to stay together. So you guys stay still. Get them kind of straight. And I've got my hot glue gun right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue on here. hot glue works fast, so I'm going to put that right here. Okay, I got that. Get that glue off of there. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to do this part. Put a little bit more glue. And I'm just eyeballing it. I don't know if it's straight or not. Oh, you know what? I really have to measure that, don't I? Have to figure out where that's going to go. Just thought about that. Oh, move over, move over. There we go. I had to put it on there a little bit crooked. That's okay. I can, oh, that one's like that too. I have to trim them off. They're a little bit big. A little bit big, a bit longer than they need to be. All right. Okay. That's because one's a little crooked. But that's okay. That's good enough. Let me see. Do I want it that way? Or do I want it that way? I think I want it that way. Okay, so then I'm going to just put this in right here. I could have done it to where it went from side to side, but I don't know. That'll work. That'll work. You get the gist of it. It's only gonna fit. Oh gosh, don't do that. I have to pull it off now. Okay, so now that I've done that, I want to cover, I'm gonna paint this. What color did where did I do with that? So I went ahead and glued it all on. I've got a little gap here, but you won't even see that when I'm done. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my vintage photo and do this and get my door kind of covered. And then I'm gonna put some on a brush too, so. Okay, so this is my first kind of coat, light color. Oh, and these little things here are the things I was looking for to put on there, but I'll show you that later. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take some Walnut Stain, and I'm going to put that down here because I want to kind of brush it on and use it more like a stain. Where did my water bottle go? And then I'm just going to put that, get it a little wet. And then let me get, what brush am I going to use? I'll use this one. This one will work good. So then I'm just going to kind of get it in all the little, well, I think what I'm doing is I'm going to do a coat of this first. I think I like it a little bit better than the vintage photo. And I just want it to look like wood, and it is wood, so it will look like wood when it's done. It needs to be a little darker. Let me do more. Let me see if I put it on a little stronger. Get it in all the little cracks and everything. All right. more. I don't know why that one stick turned out so much darker. Excuse me. It just took the stain differently, I think. Or maybe I put more on. I don't know. But anyway, it's turning out the way I thought I wanted it to. Okay. And I want to get the sides a little bit just because you will see them a tiny bit. I mean, you'd really have to be looking, but you know, might as well. I got a little bit of stuff left, so I might as well just do it. Right? Okay. That's weird how that one just turned out differently. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of my ground espresso. It's a little bit darker. Okay. Put a tiny bit of water in there. And then I'm going to kind of go. I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. I can get in there good. I really want to emphasize these things right here. Right? Alrighty, I'm going to come down in here. And all this is just to make it look a little bit more vintage. And this is why I was saying it didn't really matter that much that we had a boo-boo right there, because it pretty much gets covered up. Go in there. I'm going to go in there a little bit. Go down here. I mean, you could do this with shoe polish or whatever you wanted to use. It's not like it wouldn't work. But since I already have 3 different colors, that kind of helps, you know, with the effect. And then probably I'll take a little bit more up here, just on the little edges. Okay, so that's pretty much how our door is going to look, right? We got that all. I think it looks pretty good. That part where I did the marker shows, but that's okay. All right, so there's our door, and I am going to add the other parts to it later after I get it on my, after I get it on there, I think. But what I'm going to do is I've got this little thing here. And then this is one of those Tim Holtz things, you know, to dangle things on. And I'm going to cut that. I'm just going to, I guess I'll go ahead and put it on. I just kind of wanted to rough them up a little bit. But I guess I can do it after it's on there. I wanted to make them look a little bit more rusty. And I don't think, I was going to put this on there. This is like a little frame thing, and then put this knocker in it. But I think it looks too fancy for my door, so I'm going to put just that in the middle. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll rust those and then put them on, because I don't want to get it on the door. So I will do that later. But anyway, our door is going to go on here, okay? Anyway, that's what our door is going to look like, and it will have that on it, and it'll have a little knocker, And we are going to be covering this with all different kind of flowers and things like that. So that we probably will not get to till next time, but that is what we're doing. Okay. Time wise, okay, so this, what I'm going to do is I'm going, it does have a lot of stuff on the back. Let me get that off. Okay, here we are. Here's the crackle, guys. See, that's how cool it is. It's not even completely dry, but it has that really cool effect, and we're going to do something with that. But this will go on here, okay, but I'm going to do something to this, okay. Where did my other stencil go? Oh, they got all dumped out. Okay, so I think I decided it's kind of a tough decision as to what I'm going to do. Hey, I'm going to tell you guys something. I have ruined so many stencils with not putting them in water right away. So I'm going to use this one for this crackle paste, but I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to put some crackle paste on here. Okay. And I'm going to let it dry, and then next time we will do our effect to it. But this is going to go, I have to figure out how I'm going to do this. I can go all the way to the top and get like a good chunk of that. It's kind of hard to tell on that black mat where it begins and ends. Okay. Let's go here. I'm going to get as much of that as I can. So I am just basically putting this texture on with the crackle paste around the frame. Okay, and that is so that it will have more texture than, there is some on this frame, but not a lot. Get all of that. And this is just a smaller kind of pattern because we're doing a smaller area, so make sure it all gets in there. Okay. So that will eventually crack. And now I've got to do the other side. And I really don't want there to be as big a gap as you get on the side. So, and I don't want to smush it down. So this will be interesting. Let's try and match it as much as I can. Okay. I actually think I should have gone up higher on that side. Oh well. I might be able to fix it. Yeah. This one little corner is missing something, so I'm going to have to figure that out. There we go. All right. I know it doesn't look perfect, but it'll be good when it's done. I promise. All right, so that is going to dry. Get all the stuff off the sides. Okay. So we're going to let that dry, and that is going to texturize our our frame, okay? And when that gets done, we will work on part 2 of decorating our covers. We're at a point where it's going to be a lot of fun. The fun stuff is coming. So as I said, I'll probably continue on. And then you'll see the next part. Okay, thanks for joining me.